What's up, guys? George Balekji here with Boston has entered the chat. Hey, check out the latest episode of Foxborough Rush, covering everything Patriots as always. But talking about the fallout after the Joe Milton trade, PJ Fleck stops by the show as well. Head coach from Minnesota with good insight on his guy, Ante Ursary, the left tackle for the Gophers, and what he projects for him in the NFL draft. And then we go through a mailbag as well. That is Foxborough Rush. New episodes dropping every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Catch the latest wherever you get your podcasts. Now, let's get to the chat. What's up? What's happening? Welcome in. George Balekji here with Travis Thomas.
We're
back
chatting
in the Nesson Studios. It was fun at Fenway, my man.
Yeah, it was. I actually have a lot of fun at Fenway every time we get to do that. And to be honest, I said this on air with you, but I just will never take that for granted. Like being able to be there with my boy at Fenway, it's just surreal every time. And I pinch myself every time we do it. Now, it's not like we don't work hard. Okay, don't get it twisted.
Calories were consumed and burned yesterday.
Good point. It's not like, we're vacationing. Like, we're working there, but it's still really cool to just be there with you and to create those memories.
Appreciate you, man.
Bromance style.
In a dormant Fenway, like I was saying.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just cool stuff.
Yeah.
I would also like to say, I don't take for granted your humor. What? I am so used to you.
What?
That I don't even catch half your jokes.
What do you mean?
Bro, as I'm gnawing into something, you're speaking fluent French. You're really just making up French on the top of your dome.
I was doing that.
Watching back, I'm laughing my ass off. In the moment, I'm just like, as I bite, and I know in my head, Trav is doing something.
Of course, but that's also normal for us because a lot of times you will text me after the fact and be like, bro, I just caught something you said on episode 2.
Spaghetti.
Yeah. So that's normal with us. You catch things later. I really, if you think about it, I mean, I don't get the credit for it, but I'm a comedic genius.
Yes.
I am.
It's a telepathy we have.
It is.
I don't even got to look. I know the ball's going to be there. Right in my shooter's pocket. Boom. Corner 3. Buzzer beater.
We're the news splash bros. That's what we are.
That.
Yeah.
I would take that.
You're Steph, though. I know my role. Catch and shoot. But you're Steph.
Nah, roles reversed. I'll take being Clay as a go. It's all-time shooting.
Hey, as long as neither one of us are Draymond, we're okay.
Facts. Facts. We got a fun show for you guys. Talking about Fenway. We're going to get into the latest. Kristian Campbell inking that extension.
Yes.
Good on the young man. 22 years old, 8 years, $60 million.
Got the bag.
We'll get into that. Garrett Crochet, of course, getting his extension and the pay that the Red Sox see immediately on both of those guys. So we'll be talking about that in the bigger picture as well. As always, we'll run through what's trending and we'll dive into Joe Milton being traded from the Patriots, a quarterback of the future. Some say not this one. We'll talk about
It's me.
That. Let's start with Kristian Campbell.
All right.
6 games into his MLB career, Red Sox decide, hey, man, we've seen enough.
Mm-hmm.
Here's an 8-year extension.
Mm-hmm.
Take you through 2032. $60 million total value. Now, it can go up to 10 years, $96 million if the Red Sox exercise a couple club options. Such a small sample size of what we've seen for Kristian Campbell. But the Red Sox, as they done with Brian Bayo, Ceddanne Rafaela, Garrett Whitlock, now Garrett Crochet, getting ahead of the market, but especially with an unproven commodity in Kristian Campbell. This time last year was swinging in single A ball, but he's been terrific in the small sample size we have of him at the major league level. And the Sox, again, Craig Breslow, Alex Cora, their analytics, their eyes tell them, this kid we can bank on. They gave him the money.
Don't mess around and let them Red Sox get hot. 2 wins in a row. You're inking all your young talent here. Crochet got the bag, as you said. Now Campbell. What I like about Campbell specifically, though, is, obviously, of course, he is young. And as you said, there's a small sample size. But we have seen enough. Sometimes with young players, and this is in all sports, you just want to see the flashes. You just want to see, okay, the potential is there. How can we can help him, develop him to get to that consistency level where they're at their best. But we have seen flashes from him, and early on here, it looks like it is consistent. Yeah. Here's the other thing I like about Campbell specifically, because Crochet, you could say all the same things I just described, right? But Campbell, he is versatile defensively. And we have learned now from this offseason that is absolutely paramount. And you can't even place a value on that. That is invaluable. To have someone who can play anywhere on the infield, really, and you can move around is clutch for this team. So that's another reason why I think it was right to sign Kristian Campbell now. Same with Crochet. Don't mess around. Get these guys under wraps. Give them the bag. They're both young. They're both hungry. And in Campbell's case, extremely versatile. And he seems like just a great guy, too. Very humble. It kind of he gives me, I'm not comparing him as a player, but I always bring this up to you. I was there for early Juan Soto. I was at Washington covering the Nationals when Soto was a youngster.
Yep.
And although he went on to become Juan Soto, of course, you could see early on, yes, he's talented, duh, but his mannerisms, the way he carried himself, his confidence, his maturity, all those things, his swag, his aura, that stuff jumped off the page at you immediately, just being around him and around the ballpark. I get that from Kristian Campbell, too, those vibes. That sort of, wiser and older beyond his years. Moments not too big. Now, that did translate for Juan Soto, obviously, on the field. Saw him in the World Series, big stage, no problem. We'll see if that's the case with Campbell. But personality-wise, I see a lot of those same traits. Like intangibles, I see a lot of those same traits.
This is a kid that you got to respect the confidence.
Yeah.
He's a young man, 22 years old, 6'3", 195, playing second base, still isn't fully grown into his frame, too. You watch him run, you watch him make some movements. Good athlete, but you can tell it's still in a way, I don't want to say it's clunky, I don't want to say it's awkward, but you can tell that like he is still not done developing. And that's what they look at the major league level.
Yeah.
When it comes to prospects, what is it they look at? Facial hair, if you haven't started growing a beard yet, because they know you're not done growing. Size of your wrists, and I'm blanking on last. Maybe it's a hand size too. But essentially, they see in a Kristian Campbell that a kid that is not even into his prime yet. It's the same with all athletes. When you're 27, 28, which his contract carries him through.
Yeah.
But he's thrived. The book isn't out on him yet.
No.
The scouting reports aren't out on him yet. We'll see when the pitching catches up. But he inks a contract, has 2 doubles, hits a home run, and 2 back-to-back games. And you see him in the Spies hitting in this lineup, 6, 7, 8, wherever in the lineup they have him slotting. Playing second base. He played 30-plus games at second at Georgia Tech, 30-plus games at second in his minor league career in AAA Worcester. And now he's just getting into his own of second base. Still so raw, still so untapped.
Yeah.
But the sign of confidence that a front office gives to give this type of contract, because now they have Kristian Campbell through 2032, Ceddanne Rafaela, who could be a platinum glover in center field through 2031, Garrett Crochet through 2031, Brian Bayo through 2030.
Genius.
That is a core of 2 pitchers.
That's right.
Your ace and your hopeful 3 in your rotation, your cornerstone second baseman, your cornerstone center fielder. Jaron Durant just went through arbitration. He's next because he continues to live up to the hype. Tristan Casas coming off his first home run of the season. We see what he does to follow. Alex Bregman has the opt-outs, but we'll see if he could be with the Sox for the next 3 seasons. And then the guys they have coming up. What happens with the Willie Abreu? What happens with the Roman Anthony? What happens with the Trevor Story? With the Marcelo Meyer? They have good issues of this depth. We see as Roman Anthony continues to rake. Yeah. Marcelo Meyer continues to hit well. Those are the next guys that will come up. But to give them this contract, it just shows that how informed these decisions are. Because as we all get caught up in the hype and we gush over it and we go, yeah, but it's a small sample size. That's easy to do when you go, give them the at-bats, give them the starts at second, let them grow. When you put $60 million next to that, these are calculated moves made by FSG, made by the owners of the Red Sox, made by Craig Breslow, Alex Cora. Yeah. That doesn't just get thrown around. And it's also, at 22 years old, you're putting a lot of trust that Kristian Campbell can handle that. $7.5 million a year, $65 million in his bank account.
That's why I brought up the intangibles. Yeah. Because it's easier to invest in a young man with the traits that a Kristian Campbell has than someone who you're thinking, man, he's talented as all get out, but what's he going to do when we give him this money?
Yeah.
No such issue with Kristian Campbell. What I think you're speaking to, though, big picture, George, I mean, you put it beautifully. We have to think, since I've even been here in town, for 3 years now, going on 4, since I've been here, I've heard a lot of complaints about the lack thereof of acquiring anything at trade deadlines. I've heard a lot of complaints about, remember when Xander walked? And, there's a lack of splashy free agent moves, okay? You have to give the Red Sox credit here for a few things, because I can't take away those trade deadline complaints and the free agency complaints. However, this offseason, they did make a splashy move with Bregman, right? And even Crochet to a certain extent for the trade. So check. One thing you cannot accuse the Sox of recently is taking these prospects and developing them and then retaining them. I mean, we talked for years about, I was hearing about Red Sox prospects before I even showed up to town. So they have developed these guys and now retaining, developing them, paying them, giving them back, wrapping them up, locking them up to keep them here for years to come. I mean, now at this point, it's check, check, check. The only other thing I think that's missing here is, and I believe we'll get it at this trade deadline, is for them to be aggressive. And I've been asking for a closer. You know that. I've been talking to you. I think this team needs a closer. We'll see. We'll see what happens at the deadline. We're a long way off. But I do think, regardless of whatever position or who they bring in, I think the Sox will be aggressive at the deadline and go for it in the American League. Yeah. So a lot of the things that fans and certain media members have taken shots at this franchise for doing in recent years, no such case present day. And I think they deserve a lot of credit for that.
And it's also that what's been the turnstile of the starting second baseman on opening day for this team.
Good point.
And at one point, it was Trevor Story when he was first brought over. But Xander Bogaerts signs with the Padres. Story goes back to short.
It's been an issue.
Vaughn Grissom, David Hamilton, and Manuel Valdez. You name it, there was that second. This now brings consistency to that position.
That's a good point.
They see consistency at first. They see consistency in their outfield. They see consistency in the top of their rotation with their ace, where Garrett Crochet inking his long-term deal, giving him historic money for players in his situation as well.
Yes.
It's the Sox doing smart business. It's not just getting ahead of the market. It's getting well ahead of it by that standard. But if they just continue to see the progression, and it's also trusting like their own development. They've drafted the guys. They've had these guys come up through their farm system like Casas, Duran, Rafaela. Some of the guys are given long-term deals, and they trust they'll keep getting better. Like Ceddanne Rafaela, by all accounts, you would not take what he did in the batter's box last season. But it's a steps forward. And even like the Sox winning 2 games in a row, you just look and you go, well, oh my gosh. Well, I'd be damned. It's as if, don't freak out over how the team starts in March. They haven't even got to April. And the same thing, don't circle the wagons because what they're doing on April 3rd and 4th either. But at this point in the season, you see, you give it time. Guys stepping up, like with Casas going yard, with how they've been working on defense and how we've just seen the uptick there. And then even a guy like Garrett Crochet, first outing, 5 innings pitched, didn't look like his same old self. Then goes 8 Ks, just dominant and absolutely shoving whenever he's facing the batters from the Orioles as well. It just shows like the patience you have to have with this team. And then also the patience of you're giving them this money. Why? The Red Sox see the long term. There's a short term of giving them the reps now, the long term of having them under this contract down the road.
That's a great point. But let's talk about long term in terms of attracting talent, because that's something that a lot of people don't think about as well. Think about this. If you're a big name free agent and you're looking at teams, the Red Sox brand in and of itself sells itself. So check, right? You also always want some young talent on a roster. Check. You're going to want some veteran talent. Alex Bregman, check. You're going to need a skipper that can sell players to want to come and play for the organization. Oh, Alex Cora, check, 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 check. So when we talk about the, Vladdy Juniors of the world, these are the kind of things you need to sort of lure in big-name free agents. Now, I want Vlad Jr. because he's the closest thing on my brain, and he will be a free agent this offseason. It is clear it's not working out with the Blue Jays, right? So you have all the things that, and not just Vladdy Jr., but any kind of big-name free agent would want on their list of things. So if I'm a free agent, I'm looking at the Red Sox all day long, especially if the money, all things being equal. We know the Dodgers won't pay you until the year 3000. So if I can get paid in Boston and they have that checklist that I just went down, and I don't know, throw in some lobster rolls for good measure, I'm going to the Sox, kid.
What do you make of the timing of this too? Garrett Crochet one day, Kristian Campbell the next. Now, the pure business was, and Craig Breslow said it too on an interview with 310 to Left. Check that out wherever you get your podcast, All Thing Red Sox. That they knew the deadline Crochet set. Craig Breslow, in a way, said, I don't know what got into me, but I want to get it done. You get that Crochet money done. And then you pivot your eyes to Kristian Campbell too. Obviously, they want to get the ace under wraps they traded for, give him $28.5 million a year. Then they go to Campbell. The timing of this is significant. In a way, Crochet was get that distraction out of the way. They had club control for Campbell. In a way is give this kid confidence in a way of we're fully behind you. Don't even go, we're bringing you up to second, start looking over your shoulder. He's off to a great start. It just shows what their long-term calculations are. And it's also how serious this team is. It's no more, just figure it out. Let's field a team that can maybe get to the playoffs, and we'll be all right there. It is, no, let's get serious. Who's our second baseman? Who's our ace? Who's our center fielder? That's what they have so far. Who? We want to know who are in these spots on the team for these years to come.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you're a young player for the Sox, you're salivating because you're like, listen, all I got to do is ball out. I can get paid. But it goes back to what I was saying, big picture. You paid Bregman, too. Like, the Sox are back, in terms of being aggressive, not only with young talent, retaining them like we're talking about now, but going out and getting an Alex Bregman. How long did we talk about that where this offseason where it's like, well, we're hearing the Bregman, they're not close in years, or they're not close in this, or they're not close in that. They got it done. And again, I just think the Sox deserve some credit for some of these things. Crochet, I mean, we watched them the other night against the O's. Just lights out, pure filth. And I'm like, man, I remember watching that game thinking, get him out of the game. But they obviously did the right thing. I think he pitched through 8, right?
Yeah, he did.
But, you get this guy, and relatively speaking, it's a really good deal for pitchers nowadays. Like, pitchers nowadays break the bank. I feel like this was a really good deal for Crochet, and Campbell obviously being as young as he is.
Yep.
So, I love what they're doing from the business standpoint. And by the way, so many, not us, but so many in the media, so many fans were panicking after winning on opening day and then losing a slew of games, right? If you look now, I mean, I know it's early, so I hate doing this, but no one's out to some hot start in the division right now. No one's out to some hot start in the AL, period.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's what we've been telling you all. Just chill, breathe. They're going to be okay. Mm-hmm. Outside of the Dodgers, no one in this league is setting it on fire.
Yeah.
The Sox are going to be just fine. I am not even cautiously optimistic. I am optimistic, period, about this season for the Sox. That's why I brought up the trade deadline, too.
Yeah.
Like, this has to be one of those years where, we're there, baby. Let's go and add a little bit to this, put some seasoning on what we got cooking right now, and let's take a shot at the World Series. And then you'll see the Avengers when you get there in the Dodgers.
And it's also in the last 2 games. Trevor Story going yard, Alex Bregman going yard, Kristian Campbell once again.
Yep.
Tristan Casas. Yep. Rafael Devers getting his hits.
Yep.
Finally getting on base. You see Rafi, how he walked into the dugout the other night?
I did.
We got the video
I saw
for
you
you guys.
tweet that. It was
right
very
here.
cool.
This is Rafi. Just coming out got my hit, got my aura back, got my juice back.
Yeah.
That's Rafi meeting Lil Yachty and just answering it I'm good. I'm good.
This is an all-time meme. Great tweet by you. Can I just say, as a Lil Yachty fan, he has 0 songs. 0! That deserve this kind of reaction from any crowd, okay? Whether it's this, which was clearly some sort of sold-out festival, or a YMCA here in Boston, okay? Lil Yachty has 0 songs that should have that type of reaction.
That's the most 25 thing, though. That's like he fills out the stadium.
I know, it's crazy.
I respect it. Respect the hustle. Respect the game.
Not me. I'm an old head hater.
Hey, the Red Sox are back, locked up their young talent for a long time to come. Everyone's watching closely to see if the team is playoff bound in 2025. We know you have a lot of questions about the Sox future. We ask the players, coaches, executives, and alum those same questions on Nesson's Baseball Podcast. 310 to left. You can find on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, wherever else you get your podcasts. That is 310 to left. All right, Trav.
Yep.
So the big news for the Patriots, turmoil in the quarterback room.
Turmoil?
Not really.
I was like, that is clickbait.
Joe Milton traded from the Patriots to the Cowboys. Joe Milton and a 4th-round pick.
All right.
For the 5th-round pick from Dallas, 174 overall. Joe Milton was a 6th-round pick a year ago. Played one
I counted.
NFL game.
Yeah.
Won the game with the Patriots. Cost them the number 1 overall pick.
Oh, really? It was Joe Milton's fault?
And dude, you were the one of crediting him to be a successful quarterback that you should develop because how he played in that game.
Yeah, but you're blaming Joe Milton for doing his job? Blame Gerard Mayo. That's whose fault it was.
It's Joe Milton and a 7th-round pick for a 5th. I misspoke earlier.
Okay.
Now Joe Milton's in Dallas.
Ugh.
Patriots quarterback room's Drake May and Josh Dobbs.
Oh.
We saw Ian Rappaport tweeting about the deal. Jordan Schultz putting out the report that there were better offers, but the Patriots respected Joe Milton and wanted to send him somewhere where he wanted to be, so they sent him to Dallas. That's my biggest issue. There it is from Jordan Schultz. Understanding since Joe Milton became available at the start of the offseason, teams showed interest, including the Raiders, who have Geno Smith but need a backup. Eagles lost Kenny Pickett, kind of need a backup, don't really need a long-term solution. Giants don't need it. Steelers, yes. And Cowboys. The Patriots had a better offer for Milton, but chose to send him where he wanted out of respect for him. The Patriots, out of respect for a former 6th-round pick that played one game in the NFL. Hey, man, respect it. We'll send you to Dallas.
Don't sleep on doing right by the player, though. These guys talk. Joe Milton starts spouting off at the mouth that, well, they sent me to Siberia. I hate it here. That guys care about
Pittsburgh
that in the
with DK Metcalf and George Pickens.
Well, I'm just saying they did right by him.
New
That's
York
a good thing.
With Malik Neighbors.
That matters big picture. Don't poo-poo that.
It's Joe Milton. You got to do what's best for the team.
Why are you so disrespectful to Joe?
The Patriots are in a rebuild.
That's why they should have kept him, George.
But they need the picks now. They keep them. That won't be a draft pick till next draft, most likely.
Right. Okay, so we're having two different conversations. Let's start where we agree. This was premature to trade him. Everything you're giving me here feels like you agree with that.
I feel
it was premature.
Them trading him for only a 5th shows what they were hearing around the league, too, because obviously they're in talks with a lot of teams.
Yeah.
And let's say they hold him after the draft. Let's say a quarterback gets injured. They trade him in August for a 4th. Okay, that's equal to a 5th. Because if you go with a future pick, like a future 4th, at that point would be the upcoming draft of that one. Whoever you're trading him with, that team would get better. So it'd be equal to a 5th. It was never going to be a 3rd. He would have had to play a significant amount of games and really shown flashes. Backup quarterbacks, this kind of goes for the price of what you'd see. I just think it would have been good for them to hold on to him because I would have taken that 4th in an upcoming draft over a 5th in this current one.
Okay, so we agree there. I have different reasonings for agreeing with you. I personally think you hold on to him. You continue to do what you've been doing. Develop the kid. Let him play in the preseason. Let him, if Drake May gets hurt for 2 or 3 games or whatever, bring him in. Let him play. Let him ball. I am giving him the benefit of the doubt that he would continue to develop and do great in a Josh McDaniels system and all that. And then if you wanted to trade him down the line because you wanted to avoid a quarterback controversy or potential, then that's different. But then you're going to get a better pick because there's a larger sample size. Here's where we disagree vehemently. I think you are disrespectful to him, the player and the prospect. And it actually upsets me with you because I call you GM George. There is no bigger football nerd when it comes to prospects than you. George is the type to be like, yo, Trav, there's this kid in middle school. Keep your eye out. He's going to be a 5-star. And I'm like, bro, he's 13. Why are you talking to me about this kid? Talk to me when he's getting drafted. But that's how deep George is into this stuff. This kid, Joe Milton, is 6'5", 250 pounds, can run like a deer, can throw a football over those mountains. I lost money betting on this kid at Tennessee. You know why? Not because of any of the things I just laid out. It's because his decision-making was dog shack, okay? But, isn't that why you take a flyer on a freak athlete built like Megatron like him in the 6th round? Because, coaches coach. You know what I'm saying? Develop the kid. You had Gerard Mayo and the Bad News Bears as a coaching staff. This was one of the worst coaching staffs ever assembled in the history of the world, Craig. And what did he do? He went out there and he looked decent. Now, I know what you're going to say. Well, it was the Bills JV team. I don't give a damn. That's not Joe Milton's problem. Whether he's playing on all Madden or all rookies, not my concern. He did what he was supposed to do. He showed you flashes. He showed you why you took him in the 6th round. He looked in command to me. He looked like he made good decisions to me. And that was with a moron for a coaching staff, okay? Now he has Josh McDaniels and Mike Vrabel. And you just, what? You give up on him for what? I mean, they essentially broke even. This was rushed. I don't know why there was such this push to do this now. Let him play. Keep developing him. He's not making any money. We just did a whole segment on the Red Sox printing money. The Patriots are not paying this kid anything, or Drake May right now. What's the problem? And then you get Josh Dobbs. Like, I mean, sure, if I want a rocket ship to go to the moon, bring me Josh Dobbs. If I want a quarterback on my team, I'm not interested. He's mediocre at best. This kid's Joe Milton's ceiling could have been special. And then you could have traded him or whatevs. I think they rushed this and it was the wrong decision. Thank God he's with the Cowboys. So they can either screw it up or he can be great and we don't have to worry about it.
Out of sight, screw it up.
Out of sight, out of mind. You're disrespectful to the guy. I'm telling you.
It's the Cowboys.
Oh,
They.
All right.
He, not he.
Fine.
They.
But listen, if he goes to the Steelers, he could rip your heart right out of your chest. So thank God he's in the NFC out of sight, out of mind. But I think this was a mistake.
He was a volatile lottery ticket. You got your scratch ticket. Lottery tickets really popular around my family around the Christmas time. Shocker, we're Lebanese.
You give them for gifts.
You get one,
I respect
that.
Like
rules have been implemented.
Yeah.
In the like White Elephant Secret Santa.
Yeah.
No lottery tickets. Get something. Put some thought behind it.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're good. Fun fact: one time I almost did the swap with my grandmother-in-law. I said, "Let me see those lottery tickets, Tata." And then I was like, "You know what? First time, I'm not doing that. I'm still new to this. I give it back."
Oh.
They didn't. Nothing was in them.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say it was a Powerball.
I mean, it would have been great. It would have benefited her granddaughter. Anyhow, you scratch one, you scratch two. You're like, oh, it's two of a kind. Scratch three. And they're like, all right, do I want to give this to Trav? I spent $1 on this lottery ticket. Let me give it to Trav for $4. But he has to be the one to figure out scratching the last two. That's essentially what the Patriots did with this one. Gain $2. We could go get 3 lottery tickets.
Yeah.
Up our chances of something that we need.
Yeah.
Like in the pick 174 range, that's Pat Bryant out of Illinois, big body receiver, really good with contested catches, physical type of player, and put out massive input at Illinois too with not the best quarterback situation. Or they get a depth piece on their defensive line, depth piece on their offensive line, which they need in the trenches. Like that's the range it puts in them. Depth in the wide receiving room or offensive defensive line. But that's what they basically did with this one, where I get it, but they go, okay, before we scratch the 4th and 5th one,
sure,
and this could be worth nothing, let's move it now, and let's get something to benefit us right now.
I guess. Can we go back to the lottery for a half a second?
Yeah,
this is just random thoughts that popped into my mind. You know how, like, I don't get how in our country we don't have money for anything right now, right? But yet, if you win the Powerball, like, you can buy the Celtics. Like, how does that work? I don't understand how everything else, there's no money. Oh, we're in all these dire straits. You see the price of eggs, but if you hit the Powerball, it's all the money in the world. How does that work? I don't know how the lottery system works. Do you? You play it so damn much.
It's our money. It's the people that buy the tickets.
It just goes into the pot? Like, you can't
imagine 1 week the government. I mean,
can we tear up the lottery?
Oh.
Like, can we tear up the lottery? What is this? You can hit $6 million.
That does happen.
It does?
It's either
well, once you win.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but
it's like 40%.
I'm saying we need a salary cap on the lottery is what I'm saying. You understand? Allocate the funds to some other things.
And then once it hits the cap, anything else that comes in.
See?
Yeah.
See what we're doing? We are solving the world's problem.
If that is what leads to expanding Storo, Route 1, and fixing the T in Boston, I'm all for it.
Don't forget the potholes.
Yes, exactly that too. Potholes filled, expanding lanes, less traffic, better public transportation system. I'd be all for it.
So we'd have a modern grid instead of the...
hour, 10 minutes to get from the North Shore to Watertown.
No.
For me. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, tough, man. So yeah, if we take that, I'd be all for it.
Now, what were we talking about?
We're just...
Listen, in all seriousness, I'm not acting like Joe Milton's the next coming of Tom Brady.
But there could have been better business done.
Well, Brady was drafted in 6th round.
It's not that.
They didn't give up on Tom.
But they drafted Drake May, number 4 overall.
Didn't give up on Tom.
And what you talked about of his decision making, that's a thing. That's what you need in the NFL. You can be the more athletic guy. You can be the man amongst boys. You can have the bigger arm.
Yeah.
Eventually, it's decision making. And what the modern day NFL is, they're not going to give up 70-yard shots. Patrick Mahomes had one of the lowest air yards per attempt last season. Like Daniel Jones-esque range, and got the team to Super Bowl because he takes what the defense gives him.
Sure.
Drake May, with all that arm strength he has, what he needs right now is guys that can win intermediate to short yardage and over the middle of the field.
Yeah.
That's what quarterbacks do. And again, Drake May with his processing, whenever I would go back and watch the games, I would be baffled by the reads he would make.
Mm-hmm.
The deep ball accuracy down the field or along the sidelines he would have, the tight windows he could fit it in, and just literally how quickly he's picking up the NFL playbook now, him with Josh McDaniels.
Mm-hmm.
But as you have that room constructed, Josh McDaniels as the offensive coordinator, Thomas Brown the passing game coordinator, Todd Downing the wide receivers coach, Ashton Grant as a QB coach, McDaniels, you have a branch off the Sean McVay coaching tree, Todd Downing, you have a branch off the Kevin Stefanski, Kevin O'Connell coaching tree. Then you bring in a Josh Dobbs who has played in that system and has familiarity with that too, to help Drake May acclimate to this pro style. When you give Josh Dobbs $3.8 million guaranteed, the second that happened and go, that's a backup quarterback. I'm waiting for Joe Milton to get
You called it then. You called it then that it was going to happen. You just thought it would be later than now.
Yeah, and I never got my hopes high on the return. Because again, I could want him to hold on. They'd get a 4th round pick.
Yeah.
If they make this 5th round pick work,
Yeah.
where it's someone that could be a good backup, which is as crazy as it sounds, in a weak draft, non-deep draft of high-end talent, that's what the 5th and 6th rounds are. Can you find those gems? Like a Puka Nacua was a 5th round pick.
Right.
But that's an anomaly. But if the Patriots can get someone that can work as a swing tackle, someone that can work as a backup offensive tackle, not DeMontre Jacobs or Vidarian Lowe, then this trade is worth it. It's all about what do they do with it. And it could be the trade before the trade. Got a couple 5ths. Does it get the 4th?
Yeah, does it? Yeah, you can move things around.
With a 5th,
well,
get
a lot
into
of
the 3rd.
You and I did our own mock draft. You could check out on Foxborough Rush. But look, I see a lot of mock drafts out there, and we have had this conversation where the Patriots could trade back into the back end of the first round. You pick at 4, but then you also come back on the back end of the first round and try and get another, high-end player, to your point. Maybe all that happens. I don't know. But for everything you said about the surrounding pieces, coaches-wise, for the development of Drake May, I just feel like I wish Joe Milton had the same opportunity, and he didn't. And I hate that for him because I would like to see the same type of development for him as well. And it's not against Drake May. I don't want this to come across as though I don't believe in the kid. I definitely do. And I do think he's a franchise quarterback. But even saying the Joe Milton trade was premature, I think it's premature to stamp Drake May a franchise quarterback as well, not because of his development, so to speak, but because your offensive line sucks. I mean, can I be more clear? You haven't done anything as of yet to improve your offensive line. All we talked about all offseason was Ronnie Stanley this. That didn't work. Cam Robinson that. That didn't work. You didn't do anything. And now we're here practically, feels like days away from the NFL draft. And every mock draft I see, and I get it, it's mock, but every mock I see has the Patriots taking Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter if they're still there at 4, which I'm all for too. But guess what you're not doing? Addressing your offensive line, bruh. Quarterbacks get concussed all the time in this league. What happens if all of a sudden Drake May goes out with this putrid offensive line again, which we saw him get banged up in his rookie year because his offensive line was putrid? What happens if he gets nicked up all year? And yeah, it's easy to say, well, Josh Dobbs is a decent backup with the system, like you said. Fine. But I'm talking long-term, big picture. You think the Dolphins don't worry about Tua and that contract they gave him? I'm not saying Drake May is going to deal with the Tua concussions, but he may. We don't know. So that's my thing. I'm not so quick to want to give away a young, dynamic, really good project with a lot of potential at quarterback, the most valuable position in all of sports.
Yeah.
They do not grow on trees. Look how many teams think they do, and they blow it every year. You think the Browns are happy with their situation? You think Raiders fans are happy with I think it's just premature. In theory, I get it. But I would have waited to have a bigger sample size and to try and get back a better return. Or I would have just kept the kid and let him keep developing behind Drake May just in case something happens to Drake May. Big picture.
Joe Milton is taken in the 6th round.
Yep.
Started the last game of the season.
Yep.
Beat the Bills. Now, I point more to that Jets win. 25-22 is what cost him the first rounder. But fate was in their hands. Cost them the number 1 overall pick, where they could have gotten Travis Hunter, which they need desperately, and they may not get him or Abdul Carter, depending how this draft goes. Is Joe Milton one of the most detrimental draft picks in Patriots history?
Oh, God. Here you go.
I say no. I say N'Keal Harry, because that's a N'Keal Harry you took over a Deebo Samuel. A N'Keal Harry that they took over some elite receivers like a DK Metcalf too.
So we're going to put Joe Milton on one of the worst draft picks in Patriots history. This is what we're doing.
Yeah.
This is happening.
Yeah.
Man, I need a drink.
I think it's that draft class overall 2019 is absolutely putrid. Max Crosby went in the 4th round. Like, you look at these picks that they were making.
I need a drink.
And what the Patriots did, Damian Harris, who's okay for a couple years. CJ Gardner-Johnson. Cole Strange, 2022.
That's worse than Joe Milton, dog.
They could have gotten Trent McDuffie at 21, or stuck and gotten a Jermaine Johnson, a Tyler Linderbaum. Instead, they traded back to Cole Strange over George Karlaftis, over a Breece Hall, over Jalen Petrie.
Am I in an alternate
Kenneth
universe
Walker
right now?
I'm just saying.
What are you saying? Be definitive. This is the worst Patriots draft pick ever, Joe Milton.
No, I'm
really?
not. I'm not saying that. I think N'Keal Harry or Cole Strange are worse.
But this is the 3rd.
It could be up there. Look, I just want to have this convo with you. I like talking drafts.
Can I say one thing?
Isaiah Wynn in 2018. God.
We get it. Let me tell you this.
People wonder.
I want this on tape.
Why Belichick was eventually told to leave.
I want this on
Look at
tape.
these drafts.
If this kid goes to Dallas or wherever and becomes a star, you haven't heard the last of me.
But
I will let all of y'all know. Is there any Joe Milton love in New England at all? Because I'm telling you right now, pick your side. If I'm on my own, if I'm on an island for Joe Milton, that's fine.
Yeah.
What else is new? Everyone always disagrees with me. But let this boy go somewhere, whether it's Dallas or wherever, and become a star. Oh, you will not hear the end of it. I'm telling you, it's only there's 2 ways to make me insufferable with this team right now in this rebuild. Yeah. If Joe Milton becomes a star, I'm going to go crazy. And if draft night comes, George, Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter are available at 4, and this team turns in their draft card, and it's Membu or Will Campbell or some other lineman I've never heard of, I'm going to lose it. I'm going to lose it.
But if they do that,
I'm going to lose it.
While you're on Joe Milton Island, where you got rubbing sticks together to get a fire started, you're hanging out with Wilson.
I'll be Castaway now.
I'll be across the sandbar on my private island, Drake May Island. Because that's it, with all of, and that's why they have the ability to do this.
Yeah, because of Drake.
Yes.
I get it.
That's with all of this, they have Drake effing May.
Just saying, bro. Concussions happen all the time, bro.
And
blown knees happen all the time, bro.
So you should hold on to every asset.
Not for a while, yes. I'm not one of those dudes. I'm not saying his whole career he's got to back up Drake May. I get it. But this is a little early.
If you operate in the fear business of what if this happens, you're not going to get anywhere.
Okay.
You gotta have stones. You gotta make moves.
I hope he sucks. I'm telling you.
You go on your.
You will never hear that. You know I'm petty too. You
take
know
your
I'm
victory
petty.
lap. Again, I will just be like, cool, awesome, great.
Good for the kid.
Drake May.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what it goes back to every time. I won't be that upset by it. I won't be upset at all.
I will lose it.
There is and I'll be critical of the decision makers. They know more than us.
True.
He was traded for only a 5th-round pick for a reason.
Yeah, and the rumors are he wanted out too. We need to also throw that out there. The rumors. Allegedly, he wanted out because he knew he wasn't going to play.
When they signed Josh Dobbs, I said it. This is a needed move because you have a backup quarterback that thinks he should be a starter, which is fine.
Yes.
But you need a backup quarterback to buy into the role of being a mentor and another coach.
Yeah.
That's Josh Dobbs.
Yeah.
For Drake May. You need to put all the eggs in the basket of what supports Drake May the best. Now, that could have been a better draft pick if you waited, but they need to have the urgency to take advantage of that now.
Yeah.
Because they have 4 years of cost control left for Drake May. And we'll see, again, the move before the move.
Sure.
Celtics traded Marcus Smart before Malcolm Brogdon. I was
right.
like, what are they doing? And I'm like, there's no way they go into the season
There's
Malcolm Brogdon as their leading point guard. There's another move going down. Well, we found out Brogdon didn't pass a physical. Grizzlies stepped in. They wanted Marcus Smart. That's what got Kristaps Porzingis. Then Malcolm Brogdon becomes a Drew Holiday. They get a ring.
I get it. Urgency.
Not all the cards are done being shuffled and put down.
Urgency for Josh Dobbs. Urgency for Stephon Diggs. No urgency in the offensive line. I just find it peculiar. Joe Milton was the least of your issues. I just find it peculiar. That's all.
All right, next we'll do a 5th round mock. Just a 5th round.
Oh, God. I think...
all 32 picks.
I'm getting a cough. I may be off that day.
Yep. There we go. Hey, make sure to stream the entire Sox season with the NESN 360 annual plan, available at an all-new, reduced price of just $20 a month, paid annually. And for a limited time, get 4 free tickets to Fenway with your purchase. Visit NESN360.com to sign up today. Trav, what's your favorite Christmas Day?
Like tradition?
Yeah.
Eggnog. Pretty much.
With a little extra juice to it?
Yeah. I mean, I have kids. They have fun and
you open the
gifts.
presents,
But
and then
it's
you
the
kick back,
nog, baby.
And then you pour that drink.
Yeah, now you're talking my language.
New tradition.
Yeah.
The Chiefs.
What?
They've requested the NFL make them a, quote, fixture
Lord,
on Christmas every year.
Oh, jeez.
You know what? I'm for this.
Oh, God.
The Lions are a fixture on Thanksgiving.
And that's stupid, too.
And what have they done? I am fine sitting back and watching number 15 in the red out of Kansas City do his thing. I'd be completely fine with that on Christmas. Now, I'll get my take. You go.
Well, listen. What am I going to complain about Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah.
No. But I'm not a big fan of the same damn team maybe some of this I'm a little bit jaded because I grew up watching the Lions ruin Thanksgiving for everyone. The only saving grace was Barry Sanders. You got to watch him play.
And then eventually he's like, I want to eat turkey. I don't want to get my butt kicked.
Facts. We didn't even get the full Barry Sanders experience because he was like, I'm tired of this.
Yeah.
But, I just don't like having the same team every single year. But then you look around sports, and I get it. Somehow, I don't know what the Lions did, who they sold their soul to get Thanksgiving every year. But if the Chiefs get Christmas, I get it. We see the Lakers play on Christmas. We see the Celtics play on Christmas, no matter if they're good or bad. So I guess in theory I do understand it, but I'm just not a big fan of having the same teams every holiday. Like, if anything, maybe I'm greedy here. I would love a flex around the holidays.
Read my mind.
Right? Like, who are the top teams right now? And can we get
3 weeks out?
Yes. Can we get a Super Bowl preview rocking? I don't know. But look, it's all well and good while we have another decade of Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. What happens when he's done? We're going to keep the Chiefs on Christmas? No thanks.
Here's my thing. Roger Goodell makes over like $40 million a year. Because that's going to be tough to navigate. Christmas is on a Thursday night this year. Perfect. You have Thursday Night Football. Build yourself the buffer. Make the call December 1st.
There you go.
Here are the 3 games.
Yeah.
And you make that read of, okay, how are Joe Burrow and the Bengals going? How's Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers playing? Instead of how is Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs playing as they're limping along, don't have an offensive line,
all I'm saying.
Don't have any wide receivers.
That's what I'm saying.
You make a lot of money. That's going to be tough to navigate. Yeah. You figure it out.
Bro, this is the NFL. They went from having the draft with rotary phones all day on a Saturday to now it feels like what? Like you're at a music fest. Like there's concerts, there's fireworks, there's people announcing the picks. You can make this a television event, bruh. December 1st? Roll out there in prime time. Give us some strobe lights.
It's like
give us some marching bands.
College football playoff like bracket reveal.
Yes. See what I'm saying?
What are we doing? All right, kill this episode. We need to patent this. We're going to head to the league offices now and present this to them. Roger, what's up, man? How you doing, bro? George from Boston Center, the chat. I know you listen. Just ignore everything that I've been talking about you all these years. It's all right. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I was joking, man. It's all love.
Yeah.
Hey, we got a plan.
Yeah. And Raj, while you're at it, can you make the players hit again? Thanks. Sincerely, a football fan who misses football.
And while you're at it, get rid of Thursday Night Football, Bubs.
Facts.
It sucks. No one likes it, including the players.
And way too many commercials and flags.
And make the refs full-time.
Yeah.
Enough with the lollygagging.
Yes. Well said.
Enough with that. Raj. I like that.
Raj.
RG, what's up, bro?
What up, Raj?
Raj. All right.
Brendan, our esteemed producer,
hates us.
Is going to kill us.
So much.
It's all right. It happens.
Trey McBride is coming from Adam Schefter.
Oh.
Has become the highest paid tight end in NFL history. 4 years, $75 million extension.
Jeez.
The deal includes $43 million guaranteed, $19 million average per year, highest ever for any NFL tight end.
Ooh.
Good business because Trey McBride is more of that modern day tight end.
Yeah, he
Short
is.
yardage, not much of a deep ball, but more of a wide receiver split out wide, not the inline tight end throwback.
Right.
And if you get a high-performing wide receiver like him, opposite of a Marvin Harrison Jr. who's on the rookie scale contract, $19 million a year for his output, you'll take that.
Bro, I don't know the next up tight ends to get paid.
Sam
but,
Laporta.
Like, if I'm Laporta or even the youngsters like Bowers, I am licking my chops at these numbers. Look, I like McBride. Again, this is kind of going back to the Drake May thing. I don't want to come off as some sort of like, oh, I don't like this guy, so this is my take. I get it. Trey McBride's a really good player, and the Cardinals, they lose, but they have a really good offense. Him and Kyler work. But in the end, bro, like highest paid tight end ever. Now the market's the market. Okay, I get it,
and it's beating.
But damn,
if you
he ain't that damn good.
Yeah, if you go fully guaranteed though, it's beating a T.J. Hawkinson by $3 million. The fully guaranteed money's what matters. The cap went up how many millions? Like it didn't even adjust with the cap.
It's just a market, but
that's what.
I hear Trey McBride, highest paid tight end ever. I'm like, okay. If I'm Brock Bowers, I'm like, bro, I got to stay healthy, and I'm about to break the bank.
If I'm Brock Bowers, I'm going to my agent. I'm getting paid like a wide receiver because that's how I'm used.
Facts.
Don't pay me like a tight end.
Good point.
Pay me like a wide receiver because that's my type of usage.
That's a good point.
It's the same every time. At one point, Jaylen Brown was the highest paid player in the history of the NBA.
Yeah.
And everyone went, what? That's not anymore. And he lived up to that.
Yeah.
It's the most recent to get paid is the best situation to be in.
Sure.
Point blank, period.
Yeah.
I mean, for his output, what he builds up with Kyler Murray, and maybe Kyler Murray's not in their long-term plans, but a player like Trey McBride, if you are the Cardinals, you want that. With the Marvin Harrison Jr. in your long-term plans.
Okay, we got 35 seconds left. Can you please tell the Kyler Murray story when he was in Boston just recently? Go.
All right, so I'm working sidelines for Harvard Yale men's basketball. Swear to God, shout out to our camera ops at Harvard that work these broadcasts. The whole crew's amazing. On the broadcast, I hear my IFB, our play-by-play guy, Tyler, go, and Kyler Murray's here. That is Kyler Murray. And I'm like, all right, boom. Got to get him for an interview. Got to shoot my shot.
Easy interview.
I'm walking by. I'm looking. His security guard with him keeps looking at me. A nice dude. And I get why I have security. Packed gymnasium. Kids went up to him, talked to him. You open it up. Anyhow, I wait for halftime. Do my stuff at halftime. Talk to Tommy Amaker. Talk to James Jones. Both great dudes leading the programs. And I go, all right, here's my thing. Shoot my shot. As I go to walk up to Kyler, security guy steps up and I go, hey, just want to see if he wants to do an interview.
Yeah.
That's it. I'll keep it a ball. Nothing football. Literally, why are you here?
Right.
He's like, nah, man, no interviews. I'm like, sure, just basketball. It'll be fun. Kyler's on his phone, looks up. No. And looks back down.
You little jerk, Kyler, you.
And I just want to be like, bro, I'm short. You're short. I'll pump you up, dog. I was going to inflate that ego beyond belief.
Go play Call of Duty, little Kyler.
And that's my Kyler Murray story.
Well, I wanted you to tell the story because it says everything you need to know. Okay.
It's like, bro, it's literally, what are you doing at Harvard, Yale? What?
Well, we know it's not studying film
We
because he don't
never
do
know.
that. But listen, in all seriousness, though, Trey McBride loves him. He got him paid.
Yeah.
Kyler got him paid. They ain't winning games, but he's getting guys paid.
You get paid.
Gotta give him that.
You get paid in Arizona? Like living in Arizona?
Right.
Not bad life.
It's a little hot.
You're not winning any games.
It's a little hot for me.
Dry heat, but they outfit the overall lifestyle for that.
So
You
like
go to
pools
restaurants,
and
you sit outside, they have the misters.
yeah, I don't.
They invest in the shade.
Eh.
You ever been?
No.
No. Okay, there you go.
I'm a New England guy. I mean, honestly, born and raised in DMV.
I get
weather's
it.
kind
But
of
you're
like here.
I don't get the misters.
I'm not.
I don't get the shade.
Listen, bro. I see 120. I'm out. Like that's a little warm for a brother.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not going to Alaska either. Don't get me wrong, but I need some seasons. Like that's what I like about New England. You get some seasons. Where I grew up, seasons. Arizona, hot. Nope.
Seasons are overrated in my opinion.
What?
Yep.
See, you'd play for the Cardinals.
Yeah.
You'd be happy. I ain't going.
1,000%.
I ain't going.
I grew up in Jersey.
What does that have to do with it?
We have seasons. We have seasons.
Right.
I'm over them.
Oh,
I am
okay.
over them.
You've had too many seasons.
I've lived in Jersey, Missouri, Wisconsin, and now Massachusetts.
All seasons.
Yes. Missouri, the worst of them all. Because it's ice. You don't get snow.
What's their summers like?
Oh, so humid, bro.
Oh, so you get seasons.
You feel like you're in the mouth of a whale. It is the worst.
But you want Arizona?
Yes.
That's hell.
It's dry.
Oh, my God.
They got pools. They got misters.
I don't give a damn if it's dry, wet, medium. Heat is heat, Jack. It's 125 out here. You take a shower, leave your house, and sweat immediately? I'm not trying to head out. I just took a shower for this.
I'd rather do that than put on 15 layers. I'm sweating while I'm driving.
Nah, not me, dog. I'll get to stripping on you quick with them 15 layers. What I'm not going to do is walk outside damn near naked because it's so hot. I can't wear any garments.
When I get my compound in Arizona.
Oh.
You're coming out
I'll
for a
come
week.
visit.
I'll show you yeah, there we go.
Shout outs to Zona. I'll visit, but I ain't staying.
He's Travis Thomas. I'm George Balekji, Boston Center of the chat. We'll see you guys next time. Have a good one, everyone.